Hello everyone, this is Rudolph Wilkins with Forgotten Fitness, and today I'll be discussing with all of you one of the greatest booklets ever written on bodybuilding, titled Blueprint for the Bodybuilder, written in 1966 by the legendary Vince Gironda. Now this booklet has been out of print for a very long time, or at least it was until NSP and the Iron Guru website brought it back, and now you can actually purchase this print, which is almost identical to the original. And if you're interested in purchasing it, I'll actually drop the link below. It can be found at NSP Nutrition's website. You can use my code VINCE10, that's all caps VINCE10, for 10% off your purchase. And the thing about this booklet is it was extremely ahead of its time. It focused almost solely on diet, nutrition, and supplementation for the bodybuilder, in particular the natural bodybuilder, with which Vince Gironda was very adamantly opposed to steroids. Now, it is well known that some of his students took steroids, but he never discussed that with any of them. He let that be up to them. When it came to him, he was very much against steroids, but at the same time, he utilized certain supplements to aid and benefit in the increase in GH and testosterone in the body. And you can learn about that in this booklet. Although there are other books like the Master Series that maybe goes into that a little bit more in detail, exactly the kind of supplements, the exact amounts, this one does as well. It's a little bit more limited. It doesn't include all the total knowledge amassed, which the Master Series covers. But what that book makes up for in explanation, this book makes up for in its cost. It is very inexpensive now. You can purchase it at NSP's website for a fraction of what it was originally sold at, and it is well worth it. It's only 20 odd pages or so. Let's see. I'm not trying to give too much away. 22 pages, but it is a fantastic read. And let me actually go through the book for you. Because it is so short, there are not that many pages, I'm not going to try to show you a specific page because I'm not trying to give too much away. Instead, I would highly recommend all of you purchase it. This book is very easy to read. There's not much in the way of actually long paragraphs that are not broken up by photos. You know, that you always got some awesome pictures of Vince from the 50s and 60s. But let me go over the table of contents really quick. You got the preface, which kind of just explains the general aspects of the book. I'll go over that in a second. The protein. In this section, he actually mentions which forms of protein are superior to others and which one is actually the best. I'm sure you can all guess which one is the best in his mind. Desiccated liver and why it is one of the best superfoods ever and all the benefits it has. He also goes over glandulars and how they can affect the hormones in the body and also benefit organ health. Vitamins. Now, these vitamins are things that are commonly taken nowadays, at least most of them, but for one, they're not taken in high enough doses, and two, people don't really know the benefits of taking them. But in Vince's mind, in a certain amount, in a high enough dose, a lot of these vitamins will actually help in the release of growth hormone and testosterone. Again, like I mentioned, he was a natural bodybuilder, very much for the natural man, but he focused his supplementation on increasing and benefiting you as far as your hormone production naturally. The next part is weight gaining, and in this section, he goes over tips and tricks regarding weight loss, increase in weight. The next section is weight loss, the weight reducing section. Now that's the real interesting section, and that perfectly tailors into the final section, which is the maximum definition diet. Now that diet is absolutely wonderful. It is essentially a modified steak and eggs diet where the steak can be any number of meats, and there is a large amount of supplements taken. But man, is it effective. I gave it a go for a couple of weeks, and I saw very good results myself, and I know individuals who have seen even better results. Of course, it depends on your own genetics, but it definitely does work. In this first section here, you get an about section about Vince Gironda, some of the athletes he trained throughout the years, including some movie stars. There you go, movie stars. And the thing about Vince Gironda is he was one of the first bodybuilders to really know the importance of diet and conditioning for a bodybuilding show. Now, when he competed, they actually told him, this is a common known about fact, but they actually told him he was too lean, he was too shredded, too vascular, and they wanted a bigger body that was less cut. He never sacrificed his look for that. He believed in what he was doing, and now we know he was just very much ahead of his time. He had a physique that would fit very well into a classic physique show, maybe a men's physique show, but I highly doubt Vince Gironda would actually do that. More so a classic physique show. He very much has a small waist. He was known, actually people wrote about him in magazines, how he had some of the most incredible lats that they had ever seen. Of course, he was famous for the short pulley row, and he did row variations where with that short pulley, and it definitely benefited his lats overall. He also was big into certain variations of pullovers, including like a tricep press pullover, which I may do a video on. So he had a lot of interesting exercise variations that helped him with his lats. You can see one of the best developed men, no doubt, no doubt. Apollo type physique. You also have to remember they had Vince was very much into the Grecian Ideals, and so he tried to make his body in proportion with itself, so no one body part was out of proportion. Now, this was something popularized earlier by Steve Reeves, by Charles Atlas and Eugene Sandow, and earlier individuals as well, of course. And he carried on that legacy. So although he carried on that legacy, it actually really died with him, I would say, because after his passing in the late 90s, nobody really talks about the Grecian Ideals, not even classic physique competitors, which is really sad. It goes to show how far bodybuilding has actually fallen. Personally trained more champions than anyone else in the world. His vast knowledge of bodybuilding and nutrition have enabled him to become one of the all-time greats in bodybuilding. Absolutely. One needs only to see his amazing physique, youthful vitality, and tremendous enthusiasm to realize that this champion practices what he preaches. Absolutely. He did, every one of his diets he did himself. He's very famous for that. He didn't put out a diet he didn't try himself. Here's the preface for the actual booklet. This manual presents factual information written and compiled by Vince Gironda, who has for 40 years consistently produced more champions in the world of bodybuilding than any other in the field. Blueprint for the Bodybuilder is designed exclusively for people who use progressive resistance training via weights. Every page is made up of facts. Every fact applied by the reader is a step towards his ultimate goal of body perfection. Vince Gironda, who is himself a model for his manual, Blueprint for the Bodybuilder, states, I have planned this manual to relate only facts. With each page, the reader finds one or two completed steps geared for his immediate use. He can begin at any point in the manual and at once apply what he reads. So that's how I actually used this booklet. I first read that and I said, okay, I want to know more about the maximum definition diet. So I skipped to that, read about that. Then I wanted to know more about desiccated liver because I knew that NSP sells desiccated liver. So I read about that, the benefits of that, then glandulars, and then so on and so forth. And then I read the entire booklet. So Vince Gironda mentions that's okay. This is not something you necessarily need to read from front to back. Get what you need to get out of it and move on from there into your training. This outstanding collection of facts stresses proper diet as the catalyst in bodybuilding. Vince Gironda himself actually believed that bodybuilding was 85% nutrition. So the 15% was made up of rest, recovery, and working out. So, and that's very much true. Nutrition is what gives you the look you're looking for, not really the exercise. There's no right or wrong way to exercise. Maybe some exercises are better than others, but there really is no right or wrong way. What gives you a certain look is how you diet and how lean you get, and that'll give you that body you're looking for. It gives you facts upon facts, exploding myths. It tells the reader why to select organically grown, tree-ripened fruits and fresh vegetables, why to drink raw certified milk and its byproducts, why to eat high protein, whole grain wheat, fresh ground bread, and much, much more. The following pages, written by a man who is a leader in bodybuilding profession, properly applied, can be worth a king's ransom in your quest for treasure, the perfect body. And with that note, I think we have covered everything that I feel is good enough to cover in the Blueprint for the Bodybuilder. Now, there's much in here that you can actually learn about specific diets and all the supplements and everything, but I'm not going to go over that in this video. Instead, I want you to go out and purchase this booklet. I hope I give you a little taste for it, and I I promise you all, you will not regret it. It is not very expensive, and it is just so worth it. You can buy the PDF as well, but I like the physical copy. I like to actually hold something. But I'll actually be doing a couple more of Vince Gironda's books. I have a whole list of recommendations and ideas people have for videos, so I'm trying to get through them all. So give me a little bit of time, everybody, but hopefully I'll get to yours soon. And until next time, this is Forgotten Fitness signing out. Bye-bye.